Hello everybody, this is General Yanis, and today in Death Card Tactics we're looking at the first released point updates from the chapter approved 2022, the Munitorum Field Manual, where we got some maybe a bit unexpected point drop on Plagueburst Scrollers and a bit more expected increases in Volkite Contemptors. But with no further ado, let's look at the major changes that we have seen so far. So today, the 20th of January, I had a very fun game versus Imperial Guard fielding my Epidemius. It was a closely fought game. I'll probably make a short review, but today I had time to look at the point updates, and Warhammer community revealed, let's say, some 4 of the major point updates for some of the units that get the most point decreases and most point increases, major changes, so to say. And of course, we're really excited for the total update. So especially for Death Card, I will be looking at Flavor Scrollers and the Volkite Contemptors, the Foul Blightspawn, and then some other noteworthy point updates. Before I start, as always, a big thanks to all my supporters, all my patrons for your strong support. So let's get started. So, relating to Death Card and Thousand Suns, the Plaguewear Scroller get a hefty 15-point reduction. This means all other things unchanged, that a Plaguewear Scroller with the Entropy Cannons would be 160 points instead of 175. With the Plague Speeders, it would even come down to 150 points. So this is already one of our best units, almost auto-include. Now it's going to be even better with the 15 points reduction here. The Volkites for all Contemptor Dreadnoughts with Volkite Culverins, Forge World, let's say, used for many armies, then the Volkite Culverin will be increased by 10 points. So if we have a Contemptor with 2 times twin Volkite Culverins, instead of 150 points, there will be 170 points going forward. For Death Card and Thousand Suns, we share the same the same Forge World, let's say, datasheet. And of course, this was a bit expected, the nerf on the Volkite Contemptors, but maybe, hopefully, it can still be playable. I did the update here on some calculations. Here I have the average damage with the old points for the Contemptor, the Plaguewear Scroller with different configurations, and then the damage output per 100 points. So we see, of course, the Contemptor was one of the highest, even unbuffed damage with the General Yanis 31 targets compared to the Plaguewear Scroller. And here we have the durability, where the Plaguewear Scroller is one of the best units, best vehicles regarding durability. And here we see the new figures, point corrected with the new points. So the with no buffs, the Plaguewear Scroller with the Entropy and Slugger comes very close. Of course, the damage per 100 points increases, and the damage per 100 points for the Contemptor with Twin Volkite Culverin decreases. So they are quite close. Still, of course, worth to remember that the Contemptor can be boosted quite considerably with +1 to hits and exploding 6, etc. Still, it will be able to do more damage, but let's say the gap from the Plaguewear Scroller to the Contemptor is a bit more closed. Also, the durability per 100 points from the already very high durability of the Plaguewear Scroller is increased. And then the question is, what about some other alternatives? For example, the Mephitic Blightholder for Death Card, 140 points. Currently, we don't know what the new points will be. But it has difficulty competing with the Plaguewear Scroller already today. Let's see if that can also get some point reduction, so it could be useful again. And for Thousand Suns, for example, we have the Forge Fiend. Other shooty vehicles will something change there? Let's wait and see. But the Plaguewear Scroller becomes even more an auto-include. But for Death Card, it's the question: will some other choices be interesting? The Volkite Contemptors can still have a place, I think, with this point increase. Still useful and still can be buffed if they don't lose the core keyword, but we only expect some point updates. Additionally, for Death Card, the Foul Blightspawn increases 15 points from 75 to a hefty 90, almost like a HQ, but I think he still can be worth it versus melee armies. You save 15 points from a Plaguewear Scholar, you can still invest in the foul Blightspawn. But yes, it's a big percentage point increase. But foul Blightspawn's ability with the revolting stance rats can really win you a game versus some of the armies. Some other quick observations: the Necrons receive a lot of the units go down in points. They have been struggling in the competitive meta. So a lot of, for example, Doomsday Arcs go down, and the Scorpic Destroyers and the Silent King, etc. So a lot of decreases. Also the Doom Scythe and the Night Scythe. So across the board, some buffs and boosts for the Necrons. Tanks and aircraft shown, for example, the Leman Russ and the, the Gladiators go down in points. The Orc wagons will also go down. And then we saw some strategic increase for some key units that are strong in the meta right now, as we saw the Contemptors with Volkites, Culverins increased. We have the Hive Guards that have been very popular for the Tyranids, increasing 5 points per model. That's quite a hefty increase. The Dreadknights from the Grey Knights, a very oppressive and very tough opponent to face, increased 10 points. I wonder if this is enough. It seems quite small increase, but still a bit of an increase. The Primaris Chaplain on the bike increases. The Squig Buggies, not easy for the Orcs, building a lot of trucks and buggies, and now they cannot use so many of a type, and now the points go up quite considerably. And then, of course, as we saw, the foul Blightspawn increasing in points. So, summary and final thoughts. Of course, I'm excited and waiting for all the points to recalculate the damage and to make the rankings of the units after the point increases or point corrections. Quite surprised, to be honest, that the Plague Scroller received such a nice reduction, already a very strong unit. But maybe now with the Tau Hammerheads, it is going to be leaving very dangerously anyway. But the question posed is, can the other Death Guard vehicles, like, for example, Mythic Blightholders, compete? Will we see the Blow Drones or other Demon Engines coming a bit closer to the Plague Scroller? The expected nerf on the Vulcan Contemptors came. Probably, I think it will be still playable. To the last, a secondary I used to take when I have Plague Scrollers and Contemptors. Before it would have been on the Plague Scrollers, but now it will be on the Contemptor. So 170 points for a Contemptor, the cheapest Contemptor, let's say, with two Twin Volkites. 160 or 150 points for the Plague Scroller. Ideally, you will want to the last on the Plague Scroller and not the Contemptor. The durability is there is a big difference in the durability. Nothing significantly mentioned on Thousand Suns apart from the Contemptor. So let's see. Probably Thousand Suns are in a quite a decent competitive spot. For the Orcs, the buggies are quite hit again, but the trucks and the wagons go down. The Necrons seem to be getting a big boost on the point side. Let's see if they can be more competitive. And then the Dreadknights would be nice with a little bit more correction on the Dreadknights. At least something came. So this concludes this short video with a little math hammering here. Let me know what you think about these point corrections. Anything, any of your observations you'd like to share, please leave a comment. If you like this video, please press like and subscribe. I will try, as I said, to bring you quick updates when we have the new points. If you want to support my channel, you can visit my Patreon page. And with these words, General Yanis is signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.